Hi guys. All right, so Ophiuchus, welcome back. This is going to be a retrograde message. This is where I am asking what memory resurfaces, hence the elephant behind me, right? That's all about memory. What memory resurfaces and how does it look different now that time has passed, now that Mercury retrograde cycles back around? It's Mercury moves faster than Earth does, so it laps us. It's not ever really going in the reverse, but I liken it to hands on a clock. If we watch it, it almost appears that it's going in the reverse, but it's not. It's just making a full rotation. But as it passes that 12 o'clock mark, for example, it's like we note that there's been passage of time and we get a little older, wiser as time passes. So how do things look different after time has passed, but something comes back around? So we have got the memory starts out with the World card. So somebody's thinking back to possibly a brand new beginning that they had, maybe travel even. Three of Pentacles, something that they invested in, that they really wanted to work on, something that was new, that was fresh, something that changed their life even. Ophiuchus is thinking back to that memory, that maybe that amazing day when they started some new career, they met somebody that they worked really well with. Justice card, something that felt really, really positive. It felt like, wow, this is going to be amazing, but they could have discovered that, sorry, my earrings have been super naughty. One or the other keeps popping off. So we're going to just George Michael my way through it. Okay. One earring is all we need in this video. The Justice card, the Judgment card, the Nine of Cups, the Magician in the reverse, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Let me show you all of these. Okay, so something that was supposed to have been amazing that our Ophiuchus is looking back to ended up having some kind of real significant lack of balance to it. And it might have come in and out a couple different times, trying to make peace with it, trying to have a do-over, thinking again and again, no, this just needs to be rebuilt again. Maybe, okay, so something wasn't really fair, it wasn't really balanced, but you know what, this could still work. I really would like this to be something that would work out. But it never was able to get off the ground properly, because I think only Ophiuchus had pure intentions on this. And they're thinking back to this going, wow, I really had a lot of belief in this, but it seems like it kept falling short. And every time there was a reinvestment, no, okay, this time it'll work. This time it'll work. We just kept having stress instead of that happiness that it should have been. Okay, so how has that memory changed at this point in time? Like, as Ophiuchus thinks back to that, I feel like they were like a yo-yo on a string, Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Honestly, now Ophiuchus goes, that wasn't my balanced, equal and harmonious relationship. I mean, this could have been a relationship that was in and out. Somebody really wasn't putting in the true effort that Ophiuchus was, but Ophiuchus was like, and we got the Empress in the reverse. I think Ophiuchus is saying they flat out did not see me for who I was. If anything, it wasn't fair, it wasn't balanced, because it made me feel less valuable, less loved. It was a situation that I really shouldn't have been pouring myself into, because there wasn't balance there. And in fact, it might have really torn down some of my self-worth, because I was the one ready to give, and I wasn't getting anything in return for my efforts other than more confusion. Okay, what's the memory for whomever this person was that Ophiuchus dealt with? Their memory is Hermit in the reverse, Nine of Cups in the reverse. Interesting. What they remember is, honestly, their unhappiness. They may, and I don't think it's in connection with Ophiuchus. I think they were dissatisfied with life, and they may have a chip on their shoulder about that. They haven't done any deep soul searching. They think back to a memory that resurfaces, and they're like, life has just treated me wrong, blah, blah, blah. When I'm not sure that they understand that they had Ophiuchus. They had a chance with Ophiuchus, and Ophiuchus was like giving them their all. Two of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Wands upright. In their memory, I would say the memory that surfaces for them is, I was so dissatisfied. And that's why in their mind, they were entitled, I'm going to say, to live the way that they wanted to. This is exactly like, I'm running in, I'm running out, I'm racing back and forth. I'm going after my pursuits because I deserve to be happy, no matter at whose cost. the world owes me something. And so I'm just going to pursue what I perceive as my right to have indulgence and happiness. And they really didn't think anymore about this. This was their attitude. So if that's the memory that's surfacing, what do they think about it now? What do they think about that? We got an Emperor sideways. We got the Seven of Cups sideways. Hold on before I say anything unpleasant. We have got King of Cups upright, a Three of Swords in the reverse, the Three of Wands upright. I'm going to go ahead and say something unpleasant. I don't know if this person is such a very deep thinker about any of this. If their attitude in the past is, I was unhappy, the world owed me something, I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, it doesn't really matter who I hurt, it was all about me, me, me. Even now, as they think back to it, there's still some of that attitude showing up, because there's this element of confusion any way we slice it. There's an element of they're not really sure that they need to change that much. They still kind of are justifying their behavior by not stepping in. Look, an emperor would step up and be like, whoa, I was way out of line. They're not showing up as an emperor. Now, they're not 100% showing up as someone in the reverse, right? Like a total jerk. But if they were a total jerk, they would be very confused. If they were clear, they could actually be an emperor. They're neither. They're somewhere caught in between, still needing to grow up. They have more emotion than what they've ever had. I don't think that I see much remorse here for the way they've behaved. I don't see somebody who is thinking about others yet. They don't think of how their actions have impacted someone else. They think of that past as like, wow, I am different now. I want to be more loving, but I'm not sure that they have much remorse for if they did hurt another person's feelings. Instead, they're just like, I really want to be more like emotionally stable in my future. But are they an emperor? Definitely not. Definitely not. So what does that mean? I feel like I'm going to lose this earring too. What does this mean? Oh, hold on. We're not taking any of those. It's just too many. I'll show you why. This is just too many. That's not a shuffle. I only take cards that jump, but when that many just like fall out, that's just me being sloppy. So I don't take them. What does this mean? Ace of Swords sideways. There's still lack of clarity. There's lack of clarity in all aspects of this storyline. So it's really hard to know exactly what to do. It's like these two are not ready to have a heart-to-heart conversation because there isn't really clarity yet. Why? Because probably everybody needs to still heal. Four of Swords. Four of Swords is a time of silence, and that's a necessary silence because there's some healing that needs to happen. Maybe on Ophiuchus' side for sure, but also on this other person's side. Six of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, there's still a defeat in this energy flow. And the truth of it is, Ophiuchus is not anyone who should ever feel defeated. This character shouldn't either, but they kind of gave into, I'm going to say, like a self-indulgent defeat attitude. Like I said, the world owes me something. It doesn't matter how I behave. I deserve to be happy, even at the cost of other people. And they haven't yet actually taken accountability for that or really grown out of that 100% yet. Just because they now want to be more loving or more emotionally available still doesn't mean that they have the depth of understanding of what their actions have actually created in other people's lives. So I would say that they are still they need a lot of healing, but right now it kind of looks like Ophiuchus might also. Universe, let's get one for Ophiuchus and one for them. Hold on. We've got a Seven of Wands in the reverse. This is not for Ophiuchus yet because this popped out before I was done with my question. This is more like it's going to get better. There's a lot of these blockages are going to, as we heal, blockages subside and things become a lot clearer. Okay, actually, let's change decks. And now let me formally ask that question. Universe, can I have one card for Ophiuchus? 10 of Sacred Circles. Very nice. Ophiuchus, this is a great time for our character to surround themselves with people that care about them. Build those relationships of, friendship, camaraderie. There's so much love. There's so much abundance around Ophiuchus. That's where to put their energy right now, is developing all that network of amazing connections, people that remind Ophiuchus how fabulous they are. Now, for this other character, they have got the Princess of Sacred Circles, which is like the Page of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. They have a lot of balancing to do, and they're going to have to begin by building things one little piece at a time. If this person has a child, they need to become responsible for that child. They need to actually think about, or maybe let me put it this way, maybe it's even if they don't have a child, imagine if they had a child, how would they want someone to treat their child? If they behaved toward, have been selfish in their behavior toward another human being, would they want that same attitude to be visited upon if they had a child? Would they want somebody to treat their kid the way they've been treating people? There is something here about them needing to think at a more baseline level about their own behavior. And maybe a good way to think about that is like, am I being a role model for anyone? Or if I had kids, would I want them to deal with someone like me? Because if the answer is no, then that right there says they've got a lot to continue to balance out in themselves. Now, this looks like, with the infinity symbol looping around, I mean, the universe might be saying, think long and hard about that amazing Ophiuchus that you had in your life. If you continue to contemplate, why did you meet them? What did they teach you? Get down to the baseline level. What did they teach you? Did they teach you what it feels like to be valued? Did they treat you nice? Then why haven't you started to give something back to them? Because this is about giving something, and this is about the balance that is necessary. They need to correct something. This person has a karmic debt to pay to Ophiuchus. I'm not saying Ophiuchus wants it or needs it. I'm just saying on their side, the universe says for them, they need to think about some of this. Okay, and finally, okay, we got 4 cards that have tossed themselves out here, and they're all kind of askew. We got death cards. So this is the overall message. There's a major transformation away from the devil, which is awesome. It's not happening fast with that Knight of Swords kind of sideways, but it's also, none of this was without value. There has not been a missed opportunity. And I say that because this has transformed things for both characters. Maybe a much needed growing up energy for that other person. And then for Ophiuchus, if they are now healing some of that, like they gave so much of themselves, they got nothing in return. And the universe was like, baby, there are so many people that love you. There are so many people that value you. Give more energy to the people that show reciprocation. Surround yourself with the people that love you. Know that you're valuable. If we spend all of our energy giving to someone who is so selfish that they can't possibly reciprocate, or they got that chip on their shoulder, we're going to basically do wrong by every other amazing person that does care about us. It doesn't act like that, by pouring all of our energy into one person that is already purely operating on selfishness. So why would we give them more? No, let's give our energy to the people that do reciprocate. Let's notice the people that are kind to us, that are sweet to us, instead of letting our world be dominated by the one person in our lives who is already so selfish. They got all their self-focus on them. They don't need any more attention. So let's put our energy toward the relationships in our lives that are valuable, that are helpful, that reassure us that we are amazing and loved. I really think in this storyline, this is such a gentle, like the universe giving Ophiuchus a big hug and saying, baby, who cares about that one person that was too selfish to give to anybody when you've got all these other dozens and dozens of people that care about you? And we don't want to do them wrong by ignoring how wonderful all those other sweet and loving individuals are in our lives, or those other great relationships, our friends, our family, our colleagues, our coworkers, our neighbors. All those relationships are every bit as valuable and enrich our lives. So why not put more of our energy there? If we ever doubt our value because one person couldn't give us, like that reciprocated love, we don't want to base anything like our human interactions off of the worst person in our life, right? The one person that can't give us support. We want to base our human interactions and the way we feel about, other people and just life in general off of the dozens of sweet and wonderful things that happen all the time. Okay, apparently we want to simplify since both of my earrings are now gone. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you do enjoy my channel, if you're here watching, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It lets me know you like the channel, want me to keep doing this, and then I will. If you're new to my channel, thank you for being here. I am a fictional storyteller. I'm not a psychic. Bear that in mind. I don't have that gift. I wish I did, but instead I have the gift of storytelling. So I hope you have a good time. I hope there's always something new, some interesting food for thought, and some entertainment. All right, bye.